over.
Hello, friends and fellow gamers. My name is TempestMask1000, and yes, as Lightning has just said, this game is the illustrious Doritos Crash Course for the Xbox family. And for those that don't know about this game, it was originally launched as Avatar Crash Course as part of the Unlock Xbox competition for the 360. The nice thing about this game is that it has remained free since then, and also backwards compatible, so even the most modern of Xboxes can still play this to this day. And trust me when I say it is a very fun time, very well worth it. And as a speed game, I'm going to demonstrate that even though I did not put a whole lot of practice for this run, the fact that I still have the core basics of the gameplay in itself can prove in itself that this run is very beginner friendly. There are some hard stages in the game, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, there's definitely quite a bit to its name that if you want to give this a try yourself, I highly encourage it. With that in mind, this is the no chicken category, and what that means is this is a game that sort of plays out similar to Wipeout or American Ninja Warrior. And because of such, there are obstacles per level. It's usually within sections, and that these multiple sections make up the entire level. So if you fail an obstacle a few times around, the game will offer you a prompt saying you can press the right shoulder button to chicken out. In this run, I am not allowed to do that. And also, I'm going to be playing through 15 levels total, which covers the entire base game. So, with that in mind, let's get down to the business. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So before I get started, I do want to mention that because I am playing off of my Xbox One S, this console sadly does not have offline friendliness as compared to the 360. So you will see my friends' gamer tags in there, but shout out to them all the same, as I like to usually say. And with that further ado, we're going to start the time. Oh, apparently I already jumped into level. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna try that again. Already the scuff. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's go. Okay, so the base game, as I said, covers 15 levels in total, and how that's going to work is there is a DLC pack within this game, which is very, very cheap to get. So that adds in 3 extra worlds, bumping it up to 30. But for this intents and purposes, I'm just going to cover the 15, which go beyond the worlds of US, Europe, and Japan. And so I usually go in course order. I'm pretty sure that you are allowed to go in whatever order if you so choose, but because the game naturally gives you the ability to jump from one stage to the next, then that obviously means, well, you know, it's simpler this way. Anyhow, that's a good start. Safety first is probably one of the most optimized stages throughout the entire leaderboard and the community in itself, so much so that it's practically impossible these days to find yourself a new world record for that. I do want to give a shout out right out of the way to the DCC speedrunning community, because as it were, these fellows are very dedicated toward a lot of IL runs in themselves and have just done so much for the game. And that while I usually like to do full game runs, it's definitely a fun community to be a part of. So big shout out to them. And they also do quite a few variations of the run in itself. I'm opting to play with sliding involved, which I'll explain going fast in a second, but there are some runners out there that actually play without sliding. So, you know, kind of like a little extra added challenge in trying to go fast, which is very interesting, and I'll probably do soon enough, excuse me. But yeah, Not much in terms of the gameplay. As you can see, I'm in control of my Xbox avatar, which is decked out in all sorts of in-game gear rewards, such as the Halo Reach helmet, the Sonic Freeriders t-shirt, the Minecraft watch, although that's probably going to be a little bit hard to find, and, stuff like that. The game recognizes what your profile's avatar is looking like, and because of that, is one of the extra fun things about it, because, as I mentioned, this game was originally called Avatar Crash Course and even had a Windows PC port called Doritos Crash Course Go for Windows 8. And while that had been delisted for the longest while, the community actually found a way to resurrect that. So if you ever want to give that a try yourself, definitely go to our server and we'll be happy to set you up. Other than that, though, the obstacles are pretty simple as can be. There are these paintball cannons, which if the paintballs hit me, I will be pushed back and it will cause me to lose speed and get stunned for a short bit. But other than that, it's not all that terrible. It's just more of a nuisance. But it can be a bit unfortunate if, say, I get pushed into a pit because of one. Then we have the crushing hammers, which in that case, I want to be very careful about, because there actually was a Doritos Crash Course 2, one that was sadly a little more connected to the internet and a online server, and when that went down, there's hardly any way to play the game anymore, so rest in peace. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been introduced to this game back in my high school days, so mad respect all the same. But in that game, one of the nice quality of life updates was that getting hit by a mallet doesn't necessarily count as a reset, because in this game there are not a whole lot of obstacles that will automatically force you back into the last checkpoint that you hit. The mallets, however, are one of them, so that was one of the things I had to get adjusted to when I discovered that myself the first time I played DCC. And so anytime you see me get crushed by one, you're probably going to see me press Y to reset to the latest checkpoint manually, because the amount of time it takes for an animation to complete is obviously going to be a little bit of time loss, and I don't want that. So let's see if I can smash my best time, because as you might be noticing right there, yeah, in the upper right corner, if I'm not being compared to one of my friends' gamer tags, it actually lists my PB as well, and this game does use that timer for ranking purposes. So this is an IGT run, and the timer is really just more so there for the sake of, I guess, just having it just in case you want to like RTA yourself. But other than that, yeah, this is a fairly friendly run. Like, crashing the game is hardly going to affect you all that much. I think we usually just count the levels that you successfully finish and the times involved with that, but also you can take your time in between levels if you have to. So just a little something to keep in mind. Of course, I wouldn't necessarily advise taking too long in between levels, because otherwise you're just keeping the watchers waiting unnecessarily long, but So I've gone all about the obstacles, but I haven't quite talked about movement just yet. So as you're noticing, my character is running. I'm holding the trigger buttons for that, but when it gets to a certain point, there will be a little slide whistle sound effect, which signifies that if I don't let go of the button and stop running for a bit, my character will trip over, and that is also time loss. So I'm managing that, but the good news is that my controller also rumbles. Ooh, that's unfortunate. I don't think that's usually happened to me in this level. And here we come to the semi-auto scroller, as I like to call it, because it's kind of an auto scroller, but it's one that's dictated by an obstacle as compared to the camera scrolling itself. So it's technically an auto scroller, just, not exactly at the same time. Okay, come on, first try it. Yes, there we go. I did play it a little bit safe there, just because those hammers can knock you off if that wasn't obvious, and you hate to see it. But that was a good USA, honestly. That was pretty good, and I think that did a lot of golds for my RTA split, so that's actually kind of neat to see. Now, of course, between consoles, loading time will be faster if you're doing the latest hardware, but Of course, because this is IGT, that doesn't really matter all that much. So, you know, you can use whatever system you so choose. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I could say having an Xbox 360, that's unfortunate. 2 in a row. Really, that hit me? I'm not agreeing with that one game. Okay, let's try it now. Ooh, this is not good. This is actually not good. Oh, come on. This time for sure. There we go. Whew. Sometimes that can happen if you're not too careful. It can be a bit scary. But as I was saying, so I'm holding the run button to run, but then there's also sliding. Going down slopes and pressing the down button will add a tremendous amount of speed. Ooh, that was not so good. I was trying to obviously go from platform to platform. Here we go. Not quite. I'll try it. There we go. That's a bit more like it. But yes, sliding adds a lot more speed and can really be your best friend in some cases. And that's really it. Other than that, there are occasional rope climbing sections where the non-chain ropes are barely swingable, so usually you're just going to see me jump off them. Not much else. Trampolines, on the other hand, are a bit interesting in that you'll notice the little bullseye in the center, and if you hit that, your character will jump much higher. So, some cases, having that extra jump height can be essential. Other times, it's optional. Sometimes it even might be a bit slower. Wow. Okay, so there we go. That was the first time I've failed enough times that you're actually seeing the stuck prompt right there. And as I mentioned, this is where you can chicken out if you want to, but I obviously can't. So yeah, I'm just going to ignore that completely. And there you go. All right, so far looking pretty good. That was a little bit long though, due to the unfortunate mallet calamity right there. Still. Thank you, Mitch. Shout out to a couple of the DCC community members in the chat, by the way. So, yeah, not too much to currently go over, per se. But, yeah, no, like I said, this game is absolutely free, very customizable with playing as your very own avatar. I mean, let's be honest, how many games do you usually see from back then which had avatar compatibility and looked this good? I would wager not a lot. Although then again, I do remember that you could supposedly play as your avatar and say Guitar Hero for the Xbox stuff, so you know, that counts, I guess. I had Guitar Hero for the Wii mostly though, so I played as my Miis sometimes. Good times. So, yeah, Europe is usually like the mid section of the run where the difficulty is mostly just intermediate stuff. But then when I get to Japan, that's where it's going to really ramp up. And it's no wonder that one of the DLC worlds in this game is called Japan Easy. So that's the thing too. I don't have the DLC yet, so I've never really played it, but I do intend on using a little Xbox cash I got for Christmas as a gift to finally take a look and see what that's all about. So I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, though, we're looking pretty nice here. That's a very decent time, honestly. Now, I'm not sure if I got any level PBs just yet, because with the little time comparisons of my friends' gamer tags, I wouldn't know for sure, but I'm obviously skipping through the results screen to also be a little bit considerate for my estimate as well. So, you know, do be like that. All right, but we got the next Europe stage here, and like I said, chain ropes, you don't usually want to worry much about swinging on them. So this is I like to call this, I usually have like a little clever name for that drop section. We'll call it $1 Million Platfall or something like that, which is like a little reference to that failed game show $1 Million, whatever it was called, the one that unfortunately had that controversy going for it on the first episode where a couple of contestants picked the wrong answer when it should have been right. If y'all remember that, well, there you go. I just pulled out a deep cut, I'll imagine that. But Yeah, the green platform that collapses is usually random as compared to the platforming sections where the platforms lift up. Those are usually predetermined. But in the case of those, whoa, that was close, platform drops. Yeah, I have no predetermined knowledge as to what's going to collapse first, but I'm obviously going to want to go through it because those platforms can then go back up if I take too long. All right, let's just boost on over to here, and there you go. Okay, nicely done. Now here, you might be curious about the number in the little background, the one that usually keeps showing up whenever I finish a level. This game does technically give you placings, like first, second, third, and fourth, but that's usually like for medals, because there are bronze medals, silver medals, and gold medals. So your timing can be sort of ranked like that, which, you know, is mostly for like achievement purposes, which this game does technically have. I mean, it's an Xbox 360 game after all. And that was when achievements did begin. Although it is kind of funny to see that some modern Xbox games don't have achievement support. Like, I remember purchasing this one off of a very cheap price. It was a Xenon Valkyrie Plus, I believe it was, and it, for some reason, does not have achievements, which is kind of a first for me. But yeah, anyhow, if you know what that game is, shout out to you. But I love Doritos Crash Course for the fact that this game has a lot of cartooniness, a lot of zaniness to its name. Like, you'll notice all the details put into the backgrounds, how in the USA world there was this UFO abducting audience members, and there was King Kong on the Empire State Building, as well as the Statue of Liberty. And then here in Europe, we got the Eiffel Tower. I believe the clock, light up clock, is clearly a representation of Big Ben, and, you know, all that other stuff. And there was even a couple of other cultures interweaved into that as well, and that was a little unfortunate. I could have finished that first try there. Like I said, the mallets do crush you, so you want to manually reset whenever that happens, just to get back to it, because at the end of the animation, you're just going to go back to the checkpoint anyway. All right, we are a little over halfway through the game already, so this has been really good so far. But now we got Swingin' in the Rain, and if you're familiar with that name of a song, well, good stuff there. It's a classic, so what can I say? I believe the movie in question was... Oh gosh, I actually kind of forgot. Oh wait, no, it was Singing in the Rain, actually. That's the name of the movie itself, wasn't it? Or something like that, because, yeah, something like that. Shout out to classic movies, I guess. You know, classic movies are fun to watch, though, really. But I think this is a good time to open the floor to the hosts, honestly. Lightning, what do you think about this game so far?
I really like it. I personally liked Wipeout a lot. You know, just to watch. I'm definitely not participating in it because I would think I wouldn't even pass the first you know, obstacle. But I really like it, and it's such a speedrunner game, you know.
Very much. Yeah, I happen to have one of the Wipeout games for Xbox Connect. Whoops. And yeah, I imagine that actually being on the show is one step different from playing the games based off it. But, you know, it's quite a time. I do remember that there was supposed to be a reboot going on, and I don't know if that ever actually started airing. There was a little unfortunate happenstance during one of the tapings, though. But yeah, there was... Yeah, it's interesting. Meanwhile, in Ninja Warrior, it's good to see that still definitely going on. It's always nice to see when that competition is happening and just trying to see who's taking on Mount Midoriyama at the end. All right, so at the end of this climb there, I could have made that on the first go, but that was not the case. All right, here we go. This is definitely my case in point of what I was about to say. Definitely the hardest portion of this level with that raining paintballs section. And you can go for the really risky platforming if you so choose to, but I would highly go against that, especially considering just how much time I'm taking right now. Alas. You can be bold, but you can also be brash. Be careful. Here we go. There we go. All right, I'm going to hydrate a little because now we're coming up to the Japan world. And like I said, this is where the difficulty starts to really ramp up. So here we go. Remember, friends, hydrate, don't dehydrate. All right, here we go. You'll also notice, by the way, that my character is doing a little different intro pose per world, which is also a nice little extra detail as well. Ah, so close. So yeah, you'll notice that I do not have the gold medal to this level, and expect that to be a bit of a common happening within these levels. So if I do happen to get some medals today, you better believe that I'm going to be pretty happy about that all the same. So let's go. Bouncing up there. Okay, I'm probably not going to jump over the rope, but that's fine. There we go. At least 2 out of 3 is fine. I'm pretty sure there's no total difference as to whether you had to climb or not, but I unfortunately got smushed. Yeah, I guess I should have taken the bottom route after all. I tried. That's the nice thing about this, though. Like with certain adventure platforming games that have split routes and encourages exploration, this game kind of has it too for some of the obstacles, and that I do not know what happened. I think my input got eaten for some odd reason. Oh, and that's just unfortunate. Oh, I tried using the D-pad there. Word of the wise, do not use the D-pad. It will not move your character. Whoop. And there you go. All right, I'm just going to try and focus a little because apparently I'm rushing here. That's more like it. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you have it where the nerves kind of get to you when you've started bumping into things enough times around, but I still think that the no chicken category is a fun thing to play. And although the chicken category is a hilarious meme in itself, there's definitely a good reason why I have yet to see that getting accepted to any marathon, even as a joke run. So there you go. Oh, I could have had the top platform. I don't know how simple it is to get up there with your momentum, but I imagine it was pretty close. All right, so yeah, that was the first instance of me getting a 3rd place, a very notable 3rd place, or at least I think it was. I wasn't really keeping track. All right, domo arigato. You'll notice that some of these level names are very simple Japanese phrases, and I'm actually taking a little bit of Japanese right now, so there you go. Kind of goes hand in hand. Ooh. But yeah, it's always a language that I wanted to learn, and I'm very, very happy about it. Wow, that was so close. I didn't think I was going to make that there by the zenith of a collision. Whoa, okay. Wow, that was an unfortunate game. What did you do me for that? Like, why? All right, that was a little bit better, but could have been much better. You'll also notice that if it wasn't obvious, that's, I don't know why I reset there. I swear my thumb just instinctively hit the Y button. Unfortunately, once the platforms start to move up, then their positioning does not reset between attempts. So it's not a global, I mean, yes, actually, no, it is a global cycle, but like it's a activated global cycle. I think that's the best way to describe it, yeah. All right. So just 3 more stages after this. Time is not coming up yet. Not for a while though, because some of the next levels will definitely have the potential to put me at the 4-minute mark, if not a little less, maybe a bit more. And yeah, there's not much you can do about that sometimes, especially in the case of a marathon run where I usually just try to not reset the level entirely, because pressing the select button will do that for you. Of course, you can also pause the game and do something with that as well. Okay, so yeah, these platforms are definitely a pain, because you're noticing that using the trampoline is key, but getting the bounce wrong is really bad. And the simple solution to it, though, is you just need to do the initial bounce, but then kind of let go of the control stick briefly when you're about to do the fall. So it's not the easiest to remember. Definitely not for my case anyway, but yeah. Okay, peak performance. I imagine that enough inspiration of these levels must have come from Wipeout or Ninja Warrior, especially because Japan does have the original version of what American Ninja Warrior came from, which is called Sasuke, for those that don't know. And it's actually a nice watch. I've seen some of the competitions posted through YouTube and stuff, and it's kind of neat to see how they handle it, or had handled it, before ours became a little more mainstream, I guess. I don't know. Anyhow, I'll tell you all what. One of these days I would love to visit Japan. No cat. Like, it would be my dream trip for sure. And I know that I have the means to make it happen. Just not now. I've got plenty of time, though. One thing I will be doing, though, in case you all are curious, is I actually will be heading over to Sweden for ESA in at least a week or two from now. So if y'all want to catch me there, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And I'm very much looking forward to it. It's kind of one of the biggest undertakings I have ever done for any kind of event, period. And I'm honestly looking forward to it. But overall, yeah, unfortunately, I'm not running this game. I'm actually running Mega Man for Game Gear. For those that don't know me, I'm actually a huge Mega Man fan, and I've done a lot of Mega Man-like runs for it. So you'll be getting a very interesting game, but I'd also call this game interesting as well. So, you know, a different kind of interesting, though, obviously. Yeah, this one's a pain. You just have the... Can you defeat the cube? Those cube platforms are pain, though. Alright, just a couple more. Yeah, that I do not trust the mallet speeds, considering the... What the heck was that game? Considering the happenstance from earlier. I imagine this is where my RTA is going to start to go downhill. Because I've actually been quite ahead on my splits. But yeah. Oh, actually got a bit of time. Never mind. Looks like I'll be overall ahead. Yeah, the collision behind these mallets are just a nuisance, let me tell you. It's unfortunate. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Definitely gonna need a bit of serious time. Oh, there we go. Whew, wonderful. All right, so now we're moving up to Muzakashi Wheel. And for those that don't know, Muzakashi means hard or difficult in Japanese. So, fitting of a name, wouldn't you suppose? Now this is where the gold medal times can really, really go for lengths on end. And I'm pretty sure this is one that I already have if the gamer tag of my friends are showing up. So yeah, gotta be a little careful with that. More platforms that rise up. Gonna YOLO it. There we go. First try. I'm not gonna take the trampolines. That's a little slower right now. One little climbing trick I could do is like try to go for a sort of a rope regrab. Yo, that was so clutch. Oh, this is actually a demigod run, if I do dare to say so myself. I got the top. Let's go. Oh, I am feeling it. Hang on. I gotta really focus for this one. All right, now for the wheel itself. This is the final obstacle. It's going to switch between 3 backwards facing conveyor belts and 1 forward. By the way, the red ones are much stronger and harder to resist, while the other kind... Let's go! Wow. That has to be a PB if I've ever seen one. What? Oh my god, I got an achievement? Oh, that is a first in a long time. I have not gotten an achievement since then. How many years? That must mean that I must have gotten all gold medals in Japan. That's... Or something like that. I have no clue, but that's a first. I am going to remember this run for a while. All right, we got the final level, by the way, and time will be once I reach the goal, so let's get ready on that. Oh my, jeez, that was a god run right there. I said demigod, but no, I'm gonna call it god now. That was heavenly. Oh, all right. Oh. Okay, that was kind of sad. I'm almost tempted to restart the level just to go for this PB as well, but I'm not gonna tempt fate, honestly. Yeah, I'm not gonna tempt fate. If this is a good enough run that it actually PBs as a no chicken run, I'm just gonna leave it be. What? Oh yeah, okay, so that was a rare instance where you can sometimes platform on the top of the mallet, but it's all a matter of whether that collision even lets you. Now we got some really tricky trampolines. Okay, not too bad so far. I would like to mention right away, by the way, that if you would like to join the DCC speedrunning community, our Discord link is attached to the leaderboard page on speedrun.com, and we do have a very hilarious drawing rendition of the Doritos Ninja from that famous, or sorry, Doritos Samurai from that famous commercial from, I believe it was one of the Super Bowls, so there you go. It's all the more reason to see the hilarity behind that background if I've ever seen a top-notch hilarious leaderboard background. That would certainly be a contender for sure. There we go. And you saw a little Easter egg there of the umbrella, where my character could have potentially fell through, and sometimes a little Mary Poppins-like umbrella pops up. I had just learned about that. Oh wait, carry on time? And time. I just learned about that last year, was what I was going to say. All right, and final results. Okay, yeah, I did a better time beforehand, and that's actually that's actually a gold medal that I still need to get. But yeah, overall, my RTA is looking to be a 31:14.65, which is a PB for my splits, and I'm imagining that could very well be a PB for my overall IGT. So if that's the case, then I'm feeling very good about that run, and I hope you all enjoyed it as well. I still can't believe I got an achievement during that. What the heck? What?
That was insane. I was like, wow, achievement unlocked. And you must have practiced this like a lot of times before.
I actually didn't do a lot of practice for this event. That's the thing.
But still, you do more than you expect, and more than
yeah.
a casual player does.
Like I said, the whole point of me showing off this run without having done a whole lot of practice is to prove that if you have the basics behind the platforming in itself, this game is very learnable, and you two can just continue to do an amazing job. So I definitely recommend anyone interested in speedrunning to give this game a shot. You never know. But yeah, like I said, it's available for 360 and it's backwards compatible with the One and the Series XS. You can also join our community if you want to try and install the PC version Doritos Crash Course Go, which we do have a separate leaderboard for, and not a lot of people currently dabble with that. So hey, if you want some fast leaderboard times, then I say you got a chance right there. Other than that, though, I want to thank Pixel Perfect for having me as the second to last runner of the schedule for their first ever event. You all are very wonderful for just having me be able to do such a thing for you, and I look forward to seeing what other events come out of Pixel Perfect. Truly, it's been a pleasure. I know there were quite a few familiar faces on the staff. Shout out to Nick, and of course, thank you all for watching this, whether you're checking out live or not live. It's all good. I appreciate it all the same. If you'd like to follow me, I do go by TempestMask1000 here on Twitch as well as YouTube. I'm not a very occasional streamer, but if you want to check out my Twitter, it's at Tempest Steve, where I try to post any updates that I can on there. Other than that, though, thank you everybody for tuning in to Doritos Crash Course. My name is TempestMask1000, and until we next meet, ciao, Michi.
Thank you so much, Tempest Mac, and congratulations on your PB, because that's pretty insane.
Absolutely.
I have only one question though. Where are the Doritos?
Oh, so about that, Doritos. Like I said, this game was called Avatar Crash Course, but then Doritos was like, "Hey, we like this game. Can we sponsor it?" And so it's purely within the name itself.
Oh, right. Wow, that's actually pretty funny. I was expecting to like to have some Doritos dropping in the background, or
that would have been
Dorito
nice.
Cannons, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just branding. Let's just call it like that.
I actually remember. I think the Doritos Fortnite Island might have had a little reference to Crash Course in itself, but
Oh, no.
I won't further that one. Just check it out if you wish to.
Wow.
Who knows?
That's one big collaboration that I wouldn't think of. Anyway, thank you so much for showcasing this. This was a really fun run to watch, and we're going to set up the next run, which is our last run. That's Sonic Frontiers, and it's run by Critical Sit. So, any Sonic lovers in there, you gotta stay tuned, because we're coming back with some nice Sonic games.